Algebra 2. We are going to be in lesson 18 looking at ratio word problems, and then second part of the lesson we'll look at triangles or similar to triangles. But today we're going to start with a ratio. What is a ratio? Well, a ratio is basically a fancier way of saying a fraction. So on page 90 you're going to see this fraction, 3/4, and you're going to see that we can make this equal to a larger fraction. If we multiply both of these original numbers by 5, 5 times 3 is 15, 4 times 20, or 4 times 5 is 20. But the idea here that we're going to learn today is that we are going to set up these equalities, they're called, and we're going to cross multiply and find if that is true. Well, what's 3 times 20? 3 times 20 is 60, and 4 times 15 is also 60. So this is a true statement. This ratio is a true statement. So that's what they're trying to get us to understand. How do we make ratios work? Well, there's another way to look at this. We can say 4k is equal to 15. How do you solve for this? How do you get k by itself? Well, if you see 4 and a k right next to each other, you know that's being multiplied, so we can divide both sides of the equation by this. Cancels the 4 out. We're left with k equals 15 over 4. So we can find out what our unknowns are, okay? And that's the point of today, finding an unknown. So let's jump right to the word problem in 18.1. It says the ratio of Arabians, so Arabians to mixed breeds. So I'm going to put MB for mixed breeds. So Arabians to mixed breeds was 2 to 17. So equals 2 to 17. If there were 380 horses in the herd, how many were Arabians? Well, it gave us a total of 380. This number didn't represent the total. It represented 2 of one and 17 the other, but we know that 2 plus 17 will equal the total. So we want to know, the question states, how many were Arabians? We want to know how many were these guys. So if we say 2 over 19, because we want to match this number. This was a total number, and we want to make it equal. So 380 is total and 19 is total of both. And we don't know what this number is. So we're going to cross multiply, and we're going to say 19x equals 2 times 380. Okay? In order to get rid of the 19 and have x by itself, we're going to cross these out. X equals 2 times 380, which is 760, divided by 2, or excuse me, divided by 19, and that's going to give us a total of 40. So is 40 and 380 equal to 2/19? Yes, you can reduce these all the way down to 2/19. So 40 has to be the correct answer. So you're going to see these kinds of problems in your text, and I don't think you'll have too many problems with them because they're quite easy. Let's go to 18b. Okay, your lesson 18b deals with what we call similar triangles. All right. If you look at 18.3, there are two scalene triangles that are similar, but one's just a little bit smaller than the other. And you're going to notice that we have these angle marks, or what they will notify as tick marks, to demonstrate the congruency of each of these angles. In other words, if I label this A, this B, and this C, it's A is the same as this one, B is the same as this one, C is the same as this one, okay? So In this, they give some numbers. They call this 4, this hypotenuse 7, and this leg 5. And then on the smaller one, we have 3, y, and x. We don't know these two sides. Can we get what's called a scale factor? All right. What are the two sides that we know? We know this side and this side are the same or similar. So we can say 4 scale factor equals 3. To get scale factor by itself, we have to divide by 4, divide by 4. So now our scale factor equals 3/4, which means that I can multiply this 5 by 3/4 and come out with x. I can multiply this 7 by 3/4 and come out with y. Let's try it. Okay, so 3/4 times 5 over 1. That would be equal to 15 over 4. That's what x is, 15 over 4. What about y? Y is 3/4 times 7 over 1, which equals 21 over 4. And again, because you can't reduce those down, those are the correct answers. So y is equal to 21 over 4. X is equal to 15 over 4. How did I find that? I used a left to right scale factor. So in other words, 4 scale factor 3. Okay, we can do that in all kinds of questions to figure out similar angles. Okay, so let's go to your textbook and let's go to number 20, and it says find A and B. Okay, so we're going to find A and B. Small triangle, something like this, and then the huge triangle that's similar, and 3, 4, 5 for this triangle, and 9A and B for this one. Okay, notice that all these angles, this 3 and this 3, is equal. This 2, this 2, this 1, and this one are all the same. So if we use a left to right scale factor, how are we going to do that? Well, we're going to use 3 scale factor 9. So 3 scale factor equals 9. Divide by 3, divide by 3, scale factor equals 3. So now I can use this number to multiply 3 times 5 and come out with B, 3 times 4 and come out with A. And we'll see if it works. Well, 3 times 5 is 15, so B is equal to 15. And 3 times 4, or A, is equal to 12. And you'll notice here, a 3, 4, 5 triangle and a 9, 12, 15 triangle are kind of same as far as scale factor is concerned. So these are the kinds of problems you're going to be looking at to solve in your text. Okay? If you have any questions, come talk to me. I'll be more than happy to help you with that. Until then, have a great lesson.